Yo, what's up? It's
We're
So.
back.
Welcome to the SMG Vibes podcast, where we
Okay.
talk about music,
What are we talking about
entertainment,
today? What are we talking about today?
and business. So our
Business.
first topic is going to be about streaming and music and how streaming has changed the music game in the past few years.
Sure as.
Social media and just how artists need to stick out and be, independent from everybody else because there's so many people that are dropping music. How can artists separate themselves from the multitude of people who are hopping on social media and dropping content? So, we're talking about how, social media and algorithms help in terms of just building yourself as a brand because a few years ago there wasn't any social media or social. The whole point of social media back then was
Mm-hmm.
just to be, yourself, but now it's more of a business tool. So how do artists capitalize themselves and social media to further their own career and stuff like that? So
Good
we're talking
question.
about
Good question.
TikTok, Instagram, Twitter,
Facebook.
Facebook ads, People sleep on Facebook ads. I don't
Yeah.
lie. Facebook is a really nice platform to market yourself as an artist because there's a lot of people that don't use Instagram or Twitter because it's just a different ball game nowadays. There's so much information that people are being shown at a fast rate that some people just be like, okay, let's use a slower algorithm. I feel like Facebook is a slower algorithm in terms of social media and stuff like that. So how do artists capitalize and stick out compared to, 10 years ago where you would need a manager or a label and they would have to, promote and sell the artist to different labels and stuff like that? What
Mm-hmm.
changed compared to now and then?
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot has changed. People have changed too.
Right.
We have more advanced algorithms, more advanced platforms.
Right.
You mentioned a few of them, but it's 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 your approach to it. It's a lot of people I think underutilize all the platforms except if you know what you're doing. There are a lot of people who know. Because if it boils down to the algorithm, then you have to now tune into the algorithm, right? And be on point when to drop, how long to drop for, this, all this, that, the third. How do you, catch the attention, the first second or 2 seconds of the video or 3 seconds? It's so intricate now, it's so strategic now, so it's people think it's just because the only qualification you need is just to be young and be on social media. That's not necessarily true. That's why when you mentioned the Facebook situation, there are a lot more people on there, a lot more people, a lot more. And they've been on there for a longer time than Instagram and TikTok because Facebook has been around for a long time. So obviously you're gonna have a lot more people on there.
Right.
It makes sense, right?
Right.
So the reach and is also worldwide, just as Instagram and all that stuff is worldwide. But there's something about Facebook that you just can't deny. You
Right.
know,
And
that's why they call it Facebook ads. You just can't deny it.
right. And I feel like social media is more of a tool than anything. I feel like people get it confused. Well, it's okay to be on social media and, be social and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more profitable and you'll get more of a return if you hop on social media and use it in terms of a marketing strategy. I feel like for artists specifically, that's a key tool that some people miss. Like a lot of people, like you said, just hop on there and think, oh, like just me, myself, and I, that's enough. No, you had to sell yourself as an artist. Just like 10 years ago, how you had to sell yourself to different labels and stuff like that. Everybody else is going to be like, okay, like who is Cuz? Like somebody hops on social media and, okay, listen to my new song. What separates you from the 100,000 other people that are saying like, listen to my new song? So I feel like some people get that kind of confused, and social media nowadays
Mm-hmm.
it's a tool, and like you said, the algorithm is more complex. It's You
Yeah,
have to be
it's
strategic. Like
most
you
definitely.
you have to just figure out where you fit in terms of the algorithm
Yeah.
and how you can use that to your advantage. So I feel like a lot of artists need to sit down and face the mirror and be like, okay, what about me can I sell? What's the most marketable point or most marketable thing about me that'll sell the most? And I feel like most people just hop on social media and drop like a trailer video or a performance video and think
Yeah.
that's it. Like, no, that's not it. Like, especially nowadays, like people
Yeah.
have to especially with ads, social media is definitely harder to navigate nowadays because the same people in those offices at Instagram and Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok realize that there's a market in this. So they offer these ad packages and they might recognize you as an artist and lower your views and force you to invest yourself into the algorithm, which is
What
okay.
what about those people that come on there and hit up the different artists and say, "Yeah, I got 1 million followers, man. I can promote your page. I can promote your music for you. Pay me so and so and so." What do you think about those people?
I think that's another part of the market. And I feel like it's a lot of places where you could just fall into like shams. Like I feel like that's a sham.
Good. So, prove what's the sham about it? Because I want my audience. I've been talking to artists for a long, long time about different ways to avoid scams on social media because there are plenty of ways,
Right.
and I'll name a few. But for this particular situation, this one right here, a lot of people hit him up and say, "Yo, I got 1 million followers. Like I said, I can promote your music. Pay me so and so, and I'll leave it up there for a day or whatever. The deal is." What do you think about that? How's that a sham?
I feel like back then it might have worked because like follower count actually mattered. Nowadays you could simply just get bots to follow you and stuff like that. So it might come off as if you have influence, but in
Mm-hmm.
reality, you might out of those 1 million followers, you might only have like 30,000 actual active followers that invest in your
Yeah.
page and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I feel like in terms of those people reaching out to promote, it's a lot of people that are looking to capitalize off of your needs and not off of, the basis of evolving music
They're
in
not really
general.
trying to help you. They're just trying to help
Yeah.
themselves.
Right,
You
right.
know.
And I feel like that might be the modern day major label. Like a lot of people sell these, oh yeah, you can get so and so and so and so, but it's not actually guaranteed. Like you're better
Exactly.
off investing in your own time and that money that you would pay to that person with a million followers. You might pay that money, but you could use half of that money and capitalize double or triple the amount that you started off with or the amount that they're offering you. So I feel like a lot of people go into this market with a business model,
Mm-hmm.
and that business model isn't likely like in the best interest of the artist. It might be in the best interest of the person that has that 1 million followers. So you just got to be careful because it's a lot of people that are, you know, looking for hungry artists and stuff like that, which is cool. But some people use that to their advantage, and I feel like that's a hole that a
Yeah,
lot
because
of artists fall into.
there are a lot of gullible people out there that
Right,
believe the nonsense.
right,
And I try to warn artists, say, listen, don't fall for the hype. It looks good, it looks attractive, but it's not there. And
right,
another thing about these people, a lot of people will tell you, well, what about features? You do a feature with me, yeah, you're gonna pop this, that, and the third.
right.
What do you think about that?
I feel like with that, especially with features nowadays, bro, they're not even genuine. Like a lot of big time artists just collab with other big time artists because their
Mm-hmm.
manager tells them to, or
Okay.
because they see it as a profitable gain.
Oh, because they see it's their cousin or their friend who sometimes can't even rap or can't even do music or is not serious about music.
Right,
See, that's the other thing too that artists need to look out for. It's like not just doing collabing with anybody just because they're your friend, your man's, your cousin, your bro, whoever. There
right,
should be specific reasons, right, why you should collab with a particular artist,
yeah,
regardless of who he is. Those rules should stay and they should stick because they will guide you and protect you along the way, especially in the music business.
right,
It's a music business. It's not a game.
right,
It's not what people think. They can just do what they want to do and expect to get good results.
right,
And a lot of artists keep doing that nonsense. They keep thinking it's a game.
right,
I'm convinced, bro. I'm convinced from what I've seen out there. A lot of these artists are only on there because the internet is accessible.
yeah,
If it was back in the day where there was no, distributions, no DistroKid, no none of that stuff, and you had to go through a label and so on, so trust me, the half of the artists we have now, you wouldn't have half of them.
right.
For real.
More than half.
Exactly, because that's the whole thing. That whole label system back then was more of a organic filter system. But
Right,
today, you just pay this and do that and do that and do this and boom, you're out there and you pop in or whatever, whatever. You don't even have to be talented no more.
right,
Back in the day, you had to have something. You had to have talent. But I'm convinced there are a lot of artists out there who are not serious. They're just doing it because they have access to the internet. They have access, to distribution. Like CD Baby, whatever, DistroKid, whatever, and they're just putting the music out. They don't really care.
Yeah.
They just do it for fun, hobbies, whatever. And I come across a lot of people like that. I mean, y'all doing your thing, do your thing, but just don't hit me up. I'm serious. Just don't hit me up because that's not what that ain't that around here. No,
Yo.
you gotta really no. You have to be serious about music.
Yeah.
You gotta be really, really wanting to do this. This is not a
Right.
game, and a lot of artists think it's a game.
Right.
Oh, mom, you rap? Oh, I'm gonna start rapping too. Is that the reason why you rapping? Because your man's rap? For real? Is that the reason why you rapping? Because your girl broke your heart? What other reasons are you rapping?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Or do you really, really love music and you really want to do it?
Right.
That's my concern. Because I ask these questions. When I come across artists, you want to work? Okay, let me ask you a few questions. You know? And if the answers don't line up right, then no.
No.
That's just what it is. But one more thing about those people with the million followers, and they want you to pay them. The way these social media platforms are set up, they're owned by corporate companies, of course, and they're all about the dollar.
Right.
So if you have a million followers, that don't mean you got a million views. It doesn't mean that. Why? Because Instagram and all these social media places, they restrict what these followers, what these people, whether it's celebrity or not, who can see their stuff to a certain extent. They have a cap. So if you have a million followers, right, you're not necessarily going to have a million views. Not every follower will see because Instagram, and who else, they will limit your reach. So you might be thinking, oh, he got a million followers, let me pay him. That don't mean you get viewed by a million people. No, because again, Facebook, Instagram, they want you to pay them
Right. Right.
so they can give you the reach. So if everybody can bypass Facebook, and make the money on their own for their own promotion, then what's the point? Then Facebook wouldn't make no money.
Yeah.
Instagram, Mark Zuckerberg wouldn't make no money. Right? That's the whole point. So they limit how many you can reach. Yes, they do. Now, a lot of artists can use their platform to promote this, that, and the third. Yeah, that's fine. But don't think it's going to be 100% reach. It's never. Never. You will never get over these corporate companies and what they have in their algorithms and stuff. You have to go through them. That's why I prefer to go directly to Facebook, you know, directly to Meta,
Mm.
right? And pay them, and let them do, the ad, and stuff like that. Through them. Let them funnel the ad for me and stuff like that. That way I know they're not gonna cheat themselves.
Yeah.
They're gonna keep going until they're gonna keep going all the way. That's what I like about these companies, and not going just to random people on the internet because they don't have the reach like the owner of the company does.
Right.
Make sense?
Yeah. You have to think of it as a business. You
It
can't,
is.
it's
Yeah.
a different game, just like how it was where you needed a manager and a label and all that. Nowadays, it's a different game, and you have to enter the scene with a business mindset.
Always.
Still stay true to your artist. Still stay true to your artist self and your artistry, but you have to come into this market as a business, just like every other market. It's just the way it is. Like social media, it was a time where you could get 100,000 views just like that. But then, 5 years from now or 5 years later, they peep. Okay, there's a market in this, so they
Exactly.
sell packages. TikTok sells that promo package.
Especially TikTok. They done
Since
took
they
back
got bought,
exactly. I knew that was coming.
yeah,
I knew that was coming.
yeah,
And that's the reason why they made up all these stories about TikTok is spying on the China this and China. No,
no,
no, that wasn't the case.
that
Now
was
they
a
want it
ploy.
exactly, and people fall for the nonsense, bro.
People
As
fall for
long as
propaganda real
people
quick.
fall, yes, it's a powerful tool, propaganda. People fall for it,
Yeah,
you know.
man.
So that's where we are now. So a lot of influencers are going broke because now TikTok is taking away this and taking away all types of stupid rules and stuff. Not like before. It's different now.
It's
Because I heard
much
a lot of
different.
people complaining about that stuff. Or a lot of people,
Yeah.
influencers. It's not like before when it was the original TikTok. Oh,
That shit was
like how many people right now compared to the original TikTok blew up off of their music? Exactly. Look at the numbers. Look at the margin. Compared to 5 years ago,
hmm
compared to now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta pay them.
Right.
You're not just blowing up. You gotta pay that money.
Right.
You know, because the people, the corporate companies, they saw how much billions was involved, and they said, "Listen, we want a piece of that pie."
Right.
So they came up with all these excuses: China this and China that, whatever, whatever. Right? But I always tell people, and this is how I think about it. This is how I tell people.
Hmm.
This is how you know they're lying on TikTok, on the Chinese, the TikTok. Do you know how many Chinese companies Americans buy stuff from Timu to Weimu and Dumu and Humu? Like, do you know how many they buy from? So why aren't these spy portals? But you want about TikTok not say lies, man. Just to take over the market, lies, and y'all fall for it. A lot of people fall for the nonsense, bro.
Every time.
You know. So now we lost TikTok, the original TikTok. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a game. They just wanted their hands on the money, bro, because it was a foreign-owned company and it was taking over.
Yeah.
It was beating Instagram. They know that. It was giving Instagram a run for his money. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Zuckerberg couldn't stand that. He couldn't take the heat. He ran out the kitchen screaming. Yeah. So that's what it was, man.
Yeah.
Because if the Chinese wanted to spy on you, all them Timu orders y'all got, all them Shein,
Alibaba.
Alibaba, AliExpress, all them Chinese websites that y'all consistently buy stuff from would have been one of the best ways to do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's all a bunch of bull
Yeah, it
for
is a
real.
bunch of bull. And the US is seeing the potential from other global markets and capitalizing from that. And that's what I'm saying. You got to find your niche and then capitalize from that, make some moves.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, that's the way they went about it. I completely disagree with the way they went about it, saying, the classic, oh yeah, Chinese spies, and cuz they've been saying that for years,
for
since the 80s,
years,
the
for
Cold War and
years.
all that. Like they've been saying that, but it's just the way it is. And now, since a lot of companies are getting bought by the U.S. again,
Uh-huh.
now you have to capitalize from it. And I feel like artists have to put money to the side to market that content, and just to adjust and adapt. Like, you constantly, as an artist, you constantly have to adapt, you constantly have to see what works and capitalize off of that. I feel like a lot of people get stuck with their own wants and their own needs, and their artistic style and stuff like that. And it's just like, sometimes you got to just like put some stuff to the side and be like, okay, what can I do now that'll capitalize me as an artist, regardless of what it is, in terms of just marketing and strategies and
Yeah.
business plans. You have to map stuff out, and you have to, get a feel for the market. So unfortunately, it is the way it is. You have to, put money into the algorithm, and profit as an artist. But it's just, the market right now is kind of, it's complex. It's complex at the same time, but you have more than enough information for you to know yourself as an artist. How do I, in 5 years, capitalize and increase my follower amount, my listener amount, my views, and just my traction in general? And I feel like a lot of US companies and social media companies have just capitalized from that and seen the global potential for that. So speaking of global potential,
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about artists collabing with other global musicians and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
seeing the market in other countries. I know for myself, I've seen um a big music market in Africa. Um, you
Yeah.
know, Piano, South Africa. I don't know how many African genres there are, but it's a lot of potential markets across the globe. And a lot of artists are collabing with other international artists. For example, we have Drake collabing with Burna Boy. We have Bad Bunny collabing with American artists. Bad Bunny made a huge move
He's one of the
performing for the
biggest.
Super Bowl.
He's one of the biggest. Yeah.
Latin artists.
Yeah.
It's a huge market in South America too.
It is. It's, if not one of the biggest, it
It's
is.
a giant market.
You know.
And we have K-pop. K-pop is probably one of the biggest music genres of this generation. I've seen the market boom with K-pop and K-pop artists, BTS. I don't know the other ones. I don't really follow K-pop, me personally, but I know
Psy, remember
Psy. Yeah,
Gangnam
Psy,
Style?
yeah, Gangnam Style. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
He's still
that.
performing.
Yeah, bro.
Have
The
you
same.
seen the videos and the
Yo,
audiences?
and they go crazy
And
every
people think in
time.
America, because you don't have an artist, oh, he ain't do it. Go look what he's doing overseas.
Right.
I keep telling artists, get out of Pandora's box, get out of this bottle that you're in,
Right.
and look at international artists, look at the scene. Don't just look at America. It's a whole world out there.
Right.
Look at Latin America, look at the whole scene.
Right.
even Puerto Rico.
Right.
Look at the artists down there, you know. And as a rapper, even if you rap in English, you know, I would suggest for a rapper to do something in Spanish too.
Right.
Because years ago they did that. I remember Tony Braxton came out with a song, "Unbreak My Heart." She did in Spanish. Back then they were doing stuff in Spanish. Even Michael Jackson has a couple of stuff in Spanish. People don't even realize that.
Yeah.
That's a big market. I would push an artist. Listen, man, do that stuff in Spanish. And the way you probably do it in Spanish, you probably saying, "Well, you don't speak Spanish." Yeah, that's fine. Let the AI do that. You do that shit in Spanish, okay? It would. They do that stuff all the time.
That's facts though. AI is crazy. Like
They
you
got
could be
Suno
bilingual
taking
in it.
over all. Exactly. You could put the whole album out in Spanish. If I'm dropping an album in English, oh yeah, what I say? Du-du-du-du-du. You know what I'm saying? I'll be in Spanish. Yeah, escucha bien. And you know, whatever.
Yeah,
My,
bro.
my Spanish ain't that great. But I'm just suggesting, you know, like for real. That's why I like working with, you know, I know this guy, he's a Puerto Rican producer, you
Mm.
know, and he works with different Latino artists out there. I love being out there and working. I like it.
Yeah.
Listen, nobody told you you should not leave Philly. If
Right.
somebody's telling you to stay where you are, no,
Right.
wrong. And stop thinking like that. Bob Marley once said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. A lot of people, a lot of artists think they have to only be here or stay here or do this. No.
Right.
No, spread your wings and fly, man.
Right.
Go out and do your thing.
A lot of artists I feel like get stuck on local recognition and don't see themselves expanding worldwide.
Yeah.
And like local recognition is cool, but it'll take you but oh so far.
Yeah, because a lot of them think you have to make it in Philly first, so you have to make it here first. Who told you that? Who told you that? Who told you that? You know how many artists from America are not known in America, but they're big in Europe, in Japan, and big all over. I'm telling you, man, that's how you got to think. Because there's not only money in America, there's money over there too. There's money everywhere. That's the thing,
Right.
you know?
Right.
That's it. Just like the NBA. A lot of basketball players who didn't make it NBA over here, they're up in Europe and all them places making their money.
Right.
Exactly. Stop
Right.
thinking you have to make it in your city or state. No,
Right.
no, no.
You don't have to specifically make it in your city. I know a lot of artists that started off in Philly and blew up worldwide or in a different city, like especially, and that's what I'm saying with social media and stuff like that. You could have fans from France and you'd be in Bayonne, New Jersey, and like people would just follow
That's
you
the
and
thing.
stuff
You go
like
on the
that.
Spotify, you see your different followers, your listeners around the world. They're all over different cities. Again, that y'all should be in tune with that. A
Right.
lot of artists don't know how to promote themselves. They don't want to look at the stats. If you have a song and this song is spiking in streams, right, and you have the most people listening to you from Abu Dhabi or wherever, then the next time you pitch, you could pitch to that in that direction.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. You got to go where the money is. You got to go where the fan base is.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
And if you have a good song that's up there in streams, take your best song, for instance, the one with the most streams.
Mhm.
Push that one. Promote
Right.
that song. That's what they want to hear.
Right.
It makes sense?
Yeah.
I mean, make it make sense.
Yeah.
If I have a cell phone store, and I'm selling cell phones, right? And iPhones is selling way more than the Android phones, then I will definitely make the adjustments where the demand is greater to supply that.
Right.
Why would I spend money on an extra case of Androids when I can spend that money on an extra case of iPhones? It's just supply and demand. Same thing with the music. If people like this particular song, give them what they want.
Right.
Because you go to a show, right? You know what they're waiting on. They waiting on that song. Every show you go to, the fans are waiting on certain songs.
Yeah.
You might do other songs, but look at how the audience react when you do certain songs. When certain artists do certain songs, how they go crazy.
Right.
Because there's certain songs that are hits and there's certain songs they prefer and they want.
Right.
That's all that is. And you have to go in that direction. Some artists don't want to listen. They want to do what they want to do. Or I want to give them what I want. No, it don't work that way. It don't work that way.
No.
It don't. And that's why they'll never make it. They'll never make it. I don't care what you say. You're not gonna make it. Because you cannot tell people to listen to a song that they don't like.
No.
No. Or to continue listening to a song they don't like. They're gonna listen to what they like. And your job is when you find out what they like, supply that to them.
Right.
That's called supply and demand.
Yeah. You gotta look at the analytics. The analytics are there for a
They
reason.
don't even know half of nothing about that. I try to tell they listen for real. These young boys, they don't know nothing about marketing and stuff like that. And you try to help them, and they think they know it all. They think 20,000 views on TikTok equates to 20,000 streams on Spotify. It don't.
It don't.
It don't.
Don't.
It don't. Your job is to convert those people, those viewers on your TikTok or whatever, to your Spotify.
Right.
How you gonna do that? Ah, that's the $64,000 question.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit me up. Let's talk
65.
business. Now we're talking business.
$65,000.
That's a
Yeah,
sixty-four
but
thousand dollar question.
like
Real.
the analytics are key, just looking at what works for you. The tools are there for a reason. The analytics are there for a reason. It gives you who's most likely listening to your stuff, what region they're listening to it, what time they're listening to it. It's
Mm-hmm.
all there for a reason.
Exactly.
So I feel like a lot of artists have to put ego to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's cool, you're talented as an artist. You're talented, but you have to put ego to the side and be like, I don't know everything.
You
Like,
you can be talented, but marketing is two different things. How do we market your talent? How do we
right,
get you in front of the people who want to see you, want to hear you?
right,
That's the thing. A
right.
lot of artists don't understand that part.
Yeah.
You know, you need to market and proper marketing, and marketing comes with strategies. It's that simple. You're dealing with a tech situation. You're dealing with algorithms. This is not just gonna happen.
Mhm.
They just throw their dice and figure, oh, well, we're gonna get lucky. Not the way these corporate companies with the social media platforms are doing it.
Right.
They want to determine who gets out there, who gets in front of more people based on how much you pay them and how many ads you run from them. And that's just what it is.
That
You're
is what
not
it
gonna
is.
go around it.
That is what
That's
it
just what it
is.
is.
That is what it is. And the internet has made collaborations, easier and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's changed how artists, build buzz. But that's where the modern mixtape culture comes in and stuff like that, with artists dropping certain, snippets on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter and whatnot and building buzz. Like back then, somebody would sell you a mixtape, a CD and stuff like that, and they'd
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, who are you listening to? Who are you listening to?" And then that's how artists would build. But now with the internet and stuff like that, it's much easier for you to build that and capitalize. So you just have to figure out what niche or what specific platform works the best for you and what songs work the best. Even if it's a song that you're like, oh, this isn't my best song. Like, it's been artists I know that have blown up off of songs that they hate. It's songs
Yeah.
that they don't even
They didn't
like,
want to put out.
that they didn't want. Yeah, they didn't want to put out, and that's their biggest songs.
It's always like that for some reason.
it's,
It's always like that.
like it's
It's not about
insane.
what you want. It's about what the people want.
Right, right,
If you have like 3 or 4 dogs and you're feeding them a particular dog food and you try this other dog food and they clean the plate up, but the other dog food they keep leaving half the shit behind,
right.
what do you think it's telling you? It's
Mm-hmm.
what they want.
Right.
It's what the fans want.
Mm-hmm.
Give them what they want,
Yeah.
not what you feel. That don't matter at all, at all.
The hit songs are the ones you least expect it to be. Based off of the artists I've talked to and the people that have blown up, it's the ones that you least expected. So you have to be consistent in posting your work. You have to be consistent in posting your work, because that speeds up the process of knowing what works best for you specifically. So I feel like, I don't know. I feel like artists can succeed with consistency more than talent. Do you
You
agree?
don't have to be talented to make it. We already know that.
Yeah.
And just look on the internet. Look at the nonsense out there.
Yeah.
But they making their money. I ain't hitting that. They're making their money.
Right.
Do your thing. But I'm just telling people this is what it is now. It's not like before, where somebody gets discovered. Oh my God, he's good. Oh, she's good. Da, 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 da. Let's go talk to so and so. Da, 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 da. Man, no, no. And I saw that with a number of artists. You know, I ain't gonna mention no names, but there are a number of artists who came. Even if they're one of the ones, at least they make that check. But y'all know what I'm talking about. They got different artists out there. They come on there, and they do their songs, whatever. And guess what? They blow up off of that one song, the one style, even if it wasn't their real voice.
Right.
Even if it wasn't their real what? Even if it
I was
wasn't
thinking about the
we ain't calling no
no,
names.
the German cousins.
Uh,
Remember that back in the day,
you don't
the
do that.
two cousins with the
Don't
long
Milli
hair.
Vanilli. Don't do that to Milli Vanilli. Don't do that.
Millie.
But that's
Wait,
that's a
could
good
they actually
example
sing
though.
though?
They can't sing, bro.
Okay.
Did you hear their real voices?
No. I just heard the story that they were frauding, but I didn't know.
It was yeah. It wasn't the ones actually on the album. They did the whole album, but it wasn't them. Their faces, their pictures, and when they found that out when they supposed to do a live show, and they were on stage and girl, you know it's true, and then the CD. Remember we had CDs back then. The
Right, right,
CD
right.
stuck. Girl, you know, girl, you know, girl, you know, girl, you know, and they ran off the stage. They ran off the stage, and that's when it was discovered that
Yo,
they were fake. Oh man, and that was back. And if people were so staunch back then about, oh man, they didn't do their lip sync, they want their money back. People brought their CDs back. They wanted their money back. There was burning albums, burning CDs, all that they did. Fast forward 2026, AI. How you gonna chastise these guys back then, right, for lip syncing, but you will accept AI artists on Spotify, right? That's anyway. Yeah,
yeah, bro. It's a huge part of being an artist is having a brand, having a style, having something that people can recognize. And that leads us into our next segment. We're talking about how artists aren't just selling songs anymore, they're selling their image. So like fashion and branding, you have like ASAP Rocky. He started off on I guess like Tumblr and stuff like that in New York with his whole style and stuff like that. He was with one of the brands. He was with a few of the brands.
yeah, he did a lot. He's still in the fashion business. A lot of these
Yeah,
artists in fashion, you
yeah.
know, they
You got
definitely
you got Kanye West, what were you gonna say?
yeah, they're definitely doing their thing,
Yeah,
you know. But
yeah.
we can really get into depth with that one. But for now, we're gonna leave that for the next topic.
We are gonna leave it for the
Yeah,
next
we're
topic.
gonna save that one for another time, the next podcast. You know, we're gonna come back. You know, and then we're gonna, hopefully you could join us again. So tell a friend, tell a friend. You know, thank you so much though for joining us for this. Our very first podcast we aired, and let people know, follow our channel on YouTube. Okay, definitely Street Music Generation SMG Vibes. All right, and just click the link and watch the video. Tell your friends, send them out the link. And we appreciate you so much.
Appreciate you.
Anything you want to add?
See y'all on the next one, y'all.
There you go. See you on
Yeah.
the next one. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
God bless y'all. Take care and be safe.
Peace. Yeah.